Hey, I'm Maciej. I'm a software engineer at Getting Data and OpenLineage committer, and wanted to quickly provide updates on two different things within OpenLineage. First is recent changes to the Airflow provider. And if you look at changelog of Apache Airflow provider's OpenLineage, it seems like there is one, two, maybe some features, some big fixes, updates. Which we can see things like update add OpenLineage support for Redshift SQL, but it doesn't tell the whole story. So besides adding support for Redshift SQL operators, fixing a few bugs, we need to look at changes to other operators, and I have to thank Kacper Muda, who added support for multiple GCS and S3 related operators. Such as GCS to BigQuery operator, S3 file transform, S3 copy object, and lately copy from external stage to Snowflake object, as well as other bug fixes. And Jakub Derdziński, who added support for Redshift SQL, fixed a few other bugs, added support for Athena operator, and generally those guys do a great job of adding features and maintaining OpenLineage in Airflow. So that's the first thing. Second thing is something I'm working right now is job hierarchy for Spark. So for Spark, we have a structure which we named the job according to, and it takes Spark's app name, either the one generated by Spark or provided by user as Spark OpenLineage app name, or the one from like Spark session. When you create Spark session, you can put your app name, and this is what you'll like see on Spark Web UI. Then action name, and action is not a name of like whole name notebook or file, but an action that ends up as being written to the data, display some data, generally something that is an ending mechanism. And third is like data set that it creates. So this is great, but it has some problems, right? First is like we talked about actions and notebooks, and most people think that their Spark job is like their whole notebook or whole file, or multiple actions in like one notebook, right? But what we see from like integration side is just this action, right? That has some lazy action scheduled behind, and it's all executed only when you have an like action, right? And we don't know the fact that there will be next action, so we can't acknowledge other actions in like job naming. We can say that it's first action, second action, or something like this. And accordingly, we also can't send like one event for the whole application, because let's say you have two actions in one Spark notebook. First is writing from dataset A to dataset B, just, I don't know, copying it or like dropping some columns. And second from dataset B to dataset C. And in inputs of this job, the inputs would be A and B, and outputs would be B and C, which doesn't give you any information what the job actually did. So we need to have a granular event schematics, but what we need to do is have more information about how they are related. So during the discussion, not only on this issue, but also in docs, actually, we have seen that we have consensus about some parts, and we have in OpenLineage a feature that's called parent run, which allows you to specify that this like run was scheduled by something else, or like is a sub run of something else, right? And right now we have an option to provide what is the parent run the Spark application, but it's applied directly to all the actions. And the consensus is about having a single run that contains all of that is a parent for all the actions, but it's kind of just reflects the whole application run, and the provided parent run that I was talking for is a parent of this application run. So if you schedule from Airflow run of a Spark job that has few actions, you would have one application run that contains basically that is a parent of 3 actions, right? And itself it has a parent which is the Airflow that scheduled it. So it allows the OpenImage customers, clients, consumers to basically correlate those jobs and know more about the actual execution. And this is very similar to how Airflow processes, how we actually emit the Airflow events, which is like we have an event around for a DAG, when DAG starts and when DAG stops, and for each task in this DAG. So this is what we think is really good schematics for such a compound jobs, let's say. And I think it gives the most power to the consumers who want to display, aggregate this data somehow, and make sure that users understand how their jobs look like. Thanks. That's all.